Good morning, and welcome to another video log from Careers Matter. So, when you get up in the morning and look in the mirror, do you think, let's just put that there, sorry, do you think, I really thought I'd have achieved much more with my life by now and with my career? Well, you're not alone. Now is the time that you can set the agenda for the next tranche of your life. If you're not content, you're not happy, you're not really satisfied with what you've achieved to date, then now is the time to start to contemplate putting that right. Now is the time to fix your agenda for the next 12 months. So where are you today, and where do you want to be by this time next year? And this is James Foster and Careers Matter. Now, yesterday we talked about the last 12 months, didn't we? And this is, just to be clear, this is the second part of my series on planning your career for 2021. Yesterday we looked back to see what we had attained, whether that's good or whether that's bad. Good morning, Angela. Whether that is good or whether that is bad. But today it's about taking those lessons and moving them forward and then binning the past, because there's nothing you can do about it. The last 12 months has gone. Good, bad or indifferent, it's gone. You have today what you have today. Move forward with it. So now what we need to do now is really reflect upon exactly where we are today. And it's go back to what I said a few minutes ago. When you look in the mirror, what do you think? How do you feel that you've achieved in your life to date? And are you where you really want to be? That's the question that you need to be asking yourself right now. Not what have I done over the last 12 months? Where am I now? Where am I today? And really look at examining exactly what you have in several different aspects. Now, when you're looking at your career isn't isolated to the rest of your life. It's part of it. It's a facilitator of the rest of your life to some large extent. Of course it is. And it's a big part of your life. You spend so much of your time involved in your career that it's a vital part of it. But it is all about, if you like, the holistic view of your life that you need to take regard of. You need to contemplate, you need to really understand where you are. Where are you with your private personal life? Where are you with your love life? Where are you with your job, your career? Where are you with your health, your fitness? There's all sorts of things that you may want to sort of write down, and almost, in fact, for each one of those subjects, write down a sentence on what you feel right now about your personal circumstances, if that's the right word, in that environment. So, for example, fitness. The fitness is the easy one. Are you fit? Are you as fit as you would like to be right at the moment? Health and fitness you can put together. Are you comfortable with your health? Do you feel that you could be doing better? Could you be eating better? Are there things that you would like to be doing in a different way? Now, I'm not a health coach. I'm not a fitness coach, but I'm certainly concerned about my own health and fitness, and I have taken, and I will be taking steps and have taken steps that to maintain and manage that, because it's all part of your whole well-being and everything about who you are. So this is the takeout today, is to list anything that you feel is important. Now, I'm not going to prescribe what those are, but I would suggest health and fitness is one. I would suggest your personal private life, your relationships, if you like. I would suggest your career. I would suggest your financial circumstances, which is not unrelated to career, of course it's not, But if you look at those sorts of 4 areas predominantly, and write down in each one of those areas what you feel is true about you today, what you're happy with, what you're not happy with. And once you've got all of that listed down, where am I with my health, where am I with my fitness, where am I with my career, etc., etc., is this where I want to be, where you know, what did I want to be better, what could be better, etc. Once you've got all that down, this is just an exercise to get you thinking. Once you've got all of that down, and you can then, if you like, draw a datum line, something from which you measure, of the here and the now, where you are, what you are today, and from that you can then project yourself 12 months from now, and on all of those points that you've just listed down, go through each one of those points and think what you want to be 12 months from now. So put yourself on December the 15th, 2021, and look back. What will you have achieved by then? Where will your health be? Will you have lost weight? Will you have firmed up on your fitness goals? Whatever it is that's important to you. So, for example, for me, my idea will be to maintain a level of exercise regime over the next 12 months, so that by this time next year, I can still manage and maintain my abilities to date. Now, that sounds a bit flaky. What I'm trying to say is, so at my age, at 64, I find it very difficult to manage and maintain my fitness, my ability to run, for example. I've done a lot of running in my life. I'm not the world's greatest runner, but I've done a lot of running. I go out regularly for, at the moment it's in the gym because I damaged my ankle, injured my ankle earlier on in the year, and I can't run outside. So I run in the gym, and I can maintain, let's say, a 3 or 4 mile run at a certain speed. I want to at least to have maintained that level of running ability this time next year, because that will be an achievement. In order to do that, I've got to keep regularly going out running. 2-3 times a week I've got to go running to maintain that level of fitness. I will probably sort of set myself a goal within that I can actually get my time for a 3 mile run or for a 5 kilometre run down to something like about 28 minutes, which I think is a realistic goal for myself. That's the sort of thing that I'll be doing. In terms of my general health, there will be certain things that I will want to do over the next year. I'm not going to go into detail of everything, but this is what you do is for every point, look at it and go into the detail, and quite a lot of detail, of where you are now and where you want to be 12 months from now. Looking at each one of those points, write down the here and the now, write down the there and the then. And then, this is an important thing, it's some people when they're talking about goal setting, and this is a form of goal setting, this is not goal setting, by the way, this is setting what you want to achieve in a certain way. So we're going to set a goal, we're going to do that in a minute, or we're going to talk about doing that in a minute. That's going to be the overall attainment. What I'm looking at here is aspects of your life and maintaining and growing in those sorts of areas. The goal is going to be, so for your business, for your own personal self, for your personal life, what is the goal? So maybe there's somebody whose goal is, I want to have a partner I don't have a partner and I want to have a partner by this time next year, that then becomes a goal. That and for that you can do certain things that are going to help you to get there. Or it may be, I want to, in my career, I want to get to the next level. I'm a, let's call it a senior project manager. I want to get to a director level in project management. Those are the goals. But in terms of you know, my work-life balance, in terms of what I want to have achieved in my health time, in my health, in my fitness, in my personal relationships, those are the sorts of things of that, if you like, that are day to day, and that we need to manage day to day, but that we can see growth throughout the year in all of those particular areas, and that you will be setting yourself mini goals, if you like, for each one of those. I hope I'm clear with that. In other words, they're not your major goals, but for each one of those, you'll have something that you want to have achieved, shall we say, by the end of it. Now, what a lot of other people do, and I'm not a great visualization specialist or anything like that, is they would bring up a vision board of all the things that are important to them, something that can help them visualize. It's not my way of doing it, and the reason why it's not my way of doing it is because it doesn't work for me. I don't visualize very well. I tend to want to write it down. I also maybe audiolize it. It would probably be better for me to actually speak this into dictate this into an audio file, or even onto a video file like this, and to watch things back. But the point here is that you create a record, something that you can look at and refer to daily. You maybe you'll create yourself a sheet for each one of the points that you want to take your life forward, and maybe a larger sheet for the, and this is a visualization one, I guess, a larger sheet for your overall goal that you want to attain. But the idea is that on a daily basis is that you review where you are and where you need to get to on a daily basis, with the end goal in mind, so that always your mind is being focused on the end goal. So for each of your attributes, so that you want to take forward. It's getting very confusing, I know, but so you have to break it all down. You have to look at every aspect. It doesn't work to do this in a general holistic way. There is that general holistic vision that you'll have for yourself, but for each component you've got to look at the detail and planning that detail along. So let's go back to the fitness thing. For me, to maintain my running, I have got to run 3 times a week, and that's something that I can measure and I can focus and I can concentrate on, and I do. This is something that I do. I was doing actually very well with this until I had an accident when I went out running. I rolled my ankle over a tree root, and it was a mess. My whole of my lower right leg was strained, completely black and blue, and it's still I've still got a bad ankle now. It's still not healed fully, although I'm building the strength up, and I'm able to run now. But for some time my fitness went plummeting down because I'd had the injury. But the idea is that on each week we can, for me, fitness wise, each week how many times do I go out for a run? How are the times that I'm running? What is the regime that I'm putting together to do that? Because I don't do the same running pattern every time I go out onto a treadmill. I change it. I put intervals in, and I have extended runs, and I have shorter, faster runs, and all sorts of things to try and build up the overall capability. So and that's something that I can concentrate on week in, week out. I'm using the running as an example because it's an easy example to get across, but refer that back to your career goals and your career aspirations, and what you've got to do is you can do that from a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, 6-monthly basis, and then the year. What do I need to have achieved by the end of the year? In order to get there, where do I need to be in 6 months' time? And then when you get to 6 months, you look at 9 months. And when you're looking at 9 months, you then look at 7, 8, and 8 to get there. So you're taking it granularly down each time. So 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, and then each month up to that 3 months. What have I got to do to get to that particular point? You do that in a career sense. You do that in a business sense. If you're looking at a business, what are the revenues that I've got to achieve in 6 months to get to the 12 months, and therefore what have I got to do in 3 months, and therefore what have I got to do each month? And you break it down into chunks that are measurable and quantifiable, and that can give you the activity that you need. So for me, if I'm from a recruitment perspective, in order to achieve a certain revenue in a month, I've got to make a certain number of placements. Let's say it's 2 placements a month to achieve a revenue of X amount of X thousands of pounds. In order to achieve those revenues, I've got to have a certain number of jobs to work on, because you don't get 100% of the job, you don't place 100% of the jobs. And in order to get the revenue, I've got to have a certain number of interviews coming in against each one of those jobs. And in order to get the revenue, I've got to have a certain number of candidates getting through to the next stage of interview. So everything is measurable and quantifiable. Then that's an important factor when you're looking forward. Now in your career, it's less, shall we say, it's less easy to see the quantifiable measures, but you still have to break it down to so at the moment I've got my job. I want to achieve this in the next 12 months. In order to achieve this, let's say I'd like to get to promotion in 12 months' time under the next review. In order to do that, the objectives that I've agreed with people at work are this, this, and this, and I've therefore got to achieve those. How am I doing with that? How am I going to get into that achievement? Is there something that if I take this particular task on, it's going to help me to get that? So it's difficult without a specific example to explain exactly how that works. But what you can when you're in it yourself, you know what it is that you've got to attain to get to that next level. And it may be that it's that you're looking at a 2-year period for your promotion. So if it's a 2-year period, what's for the next 12 months, in order to make sure that you're definitely in a position, what will you have to be doing in 12 months? What will you have to have achieved? And it's, it is that straightforward to in terms of planning it. 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, and each month to get along the way. What have I got to do to make sure that in 12 months' time I'm in the position that I need to be to get the goal that I need to attain, whether that's in 12 months or 2 years or whatever it is. Health-wise, relationship-wise, they are again things that you can break down. So from a health perspective, that's usually dealing with weight. It's usually dealing with strength, fitness generally. But it's also, particularly when you get to my age, you're also looking at other aspects of your health. That you want to monitor and measure and make sure that everything is going okay, and that you're not developing any illnesses along the way that you don't particularly want to, so that you can monitor and measure that. We can't. There's not a lot we can do about whether or not we're going to get a particular illness, but we can monitor and measure it. So managing and maintaining your health levels, diet, controlling your diet, controlling alcohol. One of my major strengths, alcohol. I'm really good at it. I can drink. No, I can drink for anybody. But the you know, it's in order to manage your health, you've got to control certain things in your life and quantify exactly what you're going to allow yourself in terms of things like food, alcohol, etc., etc. So, you know, I don't want to go into detail of everything. The point is where we are now, where we want to be in the future. For each one of the various aspects that are important, that we should be looking at, and I would suggest health, I would suggest fitness, I would suggest career, I should suggest relationships, general well-being and happiness is a fifth one. And project yourself into the future. Do whatever it is. So I'm not going to tell you to do a visualization board or whatever. What works for you, and you know what works for you. Whether you want to have a nice picture. So, yeah, somebody told me once, oh, get an image of a car or something like that. It really doesn't interest me. Maybe visualize my next cruise holiday. Something like that would probably work better for me. But the point is that there's something that you want to attain for yourself that is going to drive and motivate you on. We're talking about motivation and mindset a little bit more tomorrow. Today is just around picking out those things, quantifying where you are now, quantifying where you want to be, and plotting between now and, in fact, projecting between now and then and what's necessary to get to where you want to be. I hope that's clear, because it's one of those sorts of one of those things that's quite difficult to explain just on here without pen and paper and stuff like that, because with pen and paper you can actually draw it all out and show what it looks like. With this sort of visualization, with this type of a presentation, not so easy. Hi Gary. So that's James Foster, Careers Matter. And until tomorrow, as I said, tomorrow we're going to be talking about mindset and motivation, and how we're going to ensure that we have the right mindset to get us through to those goals, to make sure that we achieve what we want to achieve. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.